Hello, I'm going to make a video because I am annoyed with myself and frustrated and but also happy with myself and pleased I've got past things in my life. So I've today is the day after my daughter's birthday. I'd said to my mum that I'd just kind of given a list of just a few bits that my daughter wanted for her birthday, food-wise, and so then she'd got a few bits and I got a few bits, but my mum got some extra bits that wasn't on the list, and that was a white baguette and some sour cream and onion dip, so yesterday, I didn't have any cake yesterday, but I did have some crumbs of cake, and they all add up, don't they? And yesterday I had a piece of quiche, and so basically yesterday I was kind of over sins, and I wouldn't say out of control over sins, but more opportunistic over sins. I tend to live my life normally nowadays. Have my house full of slim and world friendly foods and free foods, speed foods, and savvy sins. That's how I have things in my house. We don't have crisps anymore. There's nothing like that in the house anymore. If the children do have crisps, then my mum and dad will bring some over, and then they'll be gone at the other end, so they'll take any leftovers away. So we're trying to set it up normally like that. Yeah, and my mum had also brought some. She was bringing some Pringles, some green Pringles, and I had a plan for them. They would be split between the children and in the bowl, and then that would be left, nothing else left in the Pringle tube. So that had a plan for them, but she brought over some other like individual packs of crisps and some popcorn. Popcorn's okay, I've dealt with that. Popcorn was going to plan for that. The guy can have that in her lunch pack in the week. I'm going to separate it out into little sort of snack bags. That's okay. But it also made me aware that I was having a look in the cupboards last night to kind of have a look and see what there was in there so I can make a plan for all of it. Just in case there was any hidden stuff, which there was just a few hidden stuff. And it was kind of weird in a way because that's something we was used to have in the cupboards. We always used to have popcorn, used to have crisps and such, and it's weird to think that that's just quite a normal thing to have. There's a bit of white bread as well. I'll put that straight away in the freezer. So, we can defrost that as we go or toast it, etc. And some coleslaw. I haven't not tempted to eat the coleslaw, so it's okay, but my bit upset my partner really because he didn't really want to have coleslaw in the house. It was a large tub of coleslaw, and it's not really something he wanted to have in the house. My daughter does like a bit of coleslaw, so I'm going to have to talk to my mum and just say if she does want to bring some coleslaw for my daughter, just have very small, because you can get real small pots, so I have to have that in the future. Yeah, it's just funny because, that's the sort of thing we used to have in our house lots of times. And it's funny, really, to think that when you change your diet that much, that you're used to the certain foods you have in your house. I mean, you change a lot of things. When you first start out on the diet, on the Slim and World way of eating, you don't really, it was a bit of me, just felt like, well, I eat pretty healthy anyway. There's not that much more to change. But it's not until you, go back to even vaguely where we were before, you realise just how much was different. So I'm really scared about tomorrow because I've been over my sins on 2 days. Today was a struggle because I wasn't prepared enough. So I had a plan for the baguette. My plan for the baguette was take 2 big chunks because it was a long baguette. So I was either going to go down the road and give it away to the lady at the end who's just moved in, but the kids like the baguette, so I thought, well, I'll not take the food away from them. I will just be generous with the pat. So it was a big long baguette. So I thought, well, I'll take off basically a third and a third each, and just put it on their plates and split it, because they only like the middle anyway, don't they? Like poking about with it. I thought, well, if they poke it, then they can poke it to their heart's content and not be tempted to eat any, because they've been poking it, so it doesn't matter. That worked quite well. My daughter finished poking hers quite quickly, and she put it up on the side, and then I did struggle, and I pulled some bits off and dipped it into the dip. And I really felt very kind of pulled, if you know what I mean. It's that bit of you that goes, which I think is just the addiction part, that just drags you in, and you have to like not get to the event horizon, as it were, of the kind of the pull in, because as soon as you tip yourself over the edge, you're in already, and it's very hard to pull yourself out without feeling bad about it. So when I'm in those moments, which is very, very, very rare nowadays, but I still remember what they felt like, but today was one of those days, I feel, if I try and just stop myself doing it, I feel bad that I've been doing it, like, because I feel like, well, should I be doing it? Like, maybe I shouldn't be doing it, etc. And then I start to feel bad, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm feeling bad about, because it's only food after all, and I can have this food, I just have to have a moderate amount of it, etc. And so it's a challenge. So what I did instead today is I just let myself in it. I didn't say I was bad for doing it. I just tried to direct myself to a more positive way. So I had I for today and yesterday I bought myself lots and lots of diet drinks. So I had loads of fizzy. I had fizzy dandelion burdock, fizzy. These are all diet drinks, so they're all free on Slow and Well. Fizzy. There was pink lemonade. There was pineapple and grapefruit crush, and so there was and some diet coke. So there was lots and lots of fizzy, and I had plenty of black coffee today and yesterday. And I had, once I'd had that bit of baguette thing, I then had a pint of fizzy and a black coffee. And I also, because I recognised I needed some lunch, my partner wanted some lunch, and he's had a headache all day, so it's really, and he pulled his back, so he's been really out of action and really upset. Well, not upset, but unhappy, obviously, because he's been in pain. So I decided that I'd just make myself some lunch. So I've made the kids their lunch. Obviously, it's hard when you touch food that you want to eat and you don't really want to eat it. So that was a trickiness in itself, which I think sometimes sparks off stuff. But I sat down and I had loads of celery sticks that my mum had cut up. So I thought, well, I'll eat all them up. And I had some leftover hummus. The hummus wasn't sin-free, but I thought it's a savvier sin, and it's kind of like a dip. And I just had a small bit of the leftovers of the sour cream dip. And I thought that's done then. That's moved on from it. But also I've lured myself back out of it. Instead of saying I'm a bad person, I just should stop and put it down, I just tried to fill myself up a bit with the fizzy drink and the black coffee, and then just direct myself to a more fuller. So I had some gherkins and some celery, and then the hummus, and then the dip, just like to try and bulk it out a bit, try and be a bit more food optimizing with it. So I was still having something that I wanted to eat, but just luring myself out of the kind of binge eating cycle. So I'm happy, but I'm also sad. I feel a bit groggy from yesterday, from a bit too much food and all very muddly, and I feel bloated and I feel unhappy and I feel crabby. I feel a bit unhappy that I didn't manage to do today kind of on a nice plan level, where I have a nice bit of breakfast and I have my lunch and then I have my tea later. I feel a bit annoyed that I couldn't, because I was really happy last time when it was my son's birthday, and the next day after I stuck to plan all day, and I was really happy about that. I had planned to do that, but I don't think I'd planned enough to do it. So that may be a bit sad. But I do feel, I'm really scared about tomorrow, because I feel like I've put on so much weight or something over the last 2 days. it's been pretty good for the week. I don't think I was off plan. Like, well, not, I don't like calling it off plan. Food optimizing spectrum, I like to say. And 100% food optimizing is the food optimizing plan, the book you have, that follow that completely to the letter. And food optimizing, more like 90%, is maybe going over your sins, or maybe not counting your healthy extras as much as you should do, or like, so I like to think of it as a spectrum, not off plan. I'm always going to eat the Slimming World way. It's just sometimes it might be more 80%, 90% rather than 100%. Ideally, every day is 100%, because that's what I'd like. Obviously, that's food optimizing. Food optimize 100% every day. Sometimes might be more like 90%, but so I'm never off plan, because this is a choice I've made, and this is a choice I'm making, and a choice I will continue to make. But it's just a and I certainly don't want to. Today and yesterday was not a way I wanted to choose to operate. It's just the insides, the addictions just crop up, they just push, and then it's off I go. So it's been a bit of a muddle through, and I'll upload this, and then I will do another upload tomorrow to let you know how I got on. And I hope I am not out of my target. I was so miserable because I was like 10 stone 5. And then obviously the birthdays, my birthday was pretty good, but the kids' birthdays and the Christmas and the New Year and such. But I'm over that now. We're on the straight and narrow now. The delivery was delivered on Saturday, so I'm going to do my batch cook, and then we will start back to work on Tuesday, and we'll be slap bang right back into routine, which will be tough in some ways but glorious in others, and just pile ourselves in. So I think last week I weighed 10 stone 8.5, so I've still got a £1.5 pounds before I'm out of target. Let's just hope that I have not used all of it up. If not, I'll be 10 stone 10, and then we just get back off again. Okay, then I'm gonna wind up here because I've only got 1 minute left on my memory. And thanks so much everybody for being there. Appreciate it very much. And let's just just keep food optimizing. Okay, bye.